Hi, welcome to Yoga with Mystery Dawn. I have Hershey Kisses here with me. We're going to do some yoga today, focusing on compassion and clarity. So working with the heart chakra and the third eye. Go ahead and take an easy seat. The only thing you'll need today is a yoga mat and some blocks and a little helper. We're going to go ahead and take an easy seat. And as you settle here into the mat, just breathe normally. I'm just going to play some bells for you while you get settled in. Okay, so to start, you're just going to go ahead and take a breath in and sweep your arms up. Get a nice stretch here. Breath out, arms down. One more time, breath in, sweeping your arms up. And exhale, we're going to take the left hand, put it over the right knee. Take the right hand behind like a tripod and start to twist while looking over your shoulder. Make sure that you're not pulling with your hand and pushing with the hand in the back to get the twist. You just want a nice, easy twist here. And a nice twist in the neck, looking over the back shoulder. And on your exhale, release, come to the front. Inhale, arms up, and exhale, right hand to your left thigh, left hand behind, and start to twist, taking your gaze over the left shoulder, remembering not to pull or push here. It's just an easy twist. And exhale, coming back to center. Now we're going to go ahead and come to our knees on the mat into a kneeling position. And I want you to do a couple shoulder rolls here. A couple rolls backwards, a couple forwards. And inhale, bring your shoulders up to your ears. Exhale, release them down. One more time, inhale, bring them up. Exhale, bring them down. This time we're going to inhale and we're going to open our chest to the front, bringing the shoulder blades closer together in the back. And exhale, release it down. Inhale, bringing the shoulders back, touching the shoulder blades towards each other in the back of your shoulders here, opening the chest, and exhale, release. We're going to go ahead and clasp the hands behind the back, and this might be where you need a block here, because if you're like me, I can't get my head all the way down to the mat without raising my hips into the air. But what we're going to try to do here is to keep the hips towards the heels with the arms clasped, and we're going to start to slowly come forward, hinging at the hips, bringing the arms up slightly, and trying not to knock over my dog. We're just going to bring the head to the block, bringing the shoulders up towards the sky. If they don't come all the way up and they need to stay on the back, that's perfectly fine. But we're going to bring the head to the block and lift the arms up. And as you settle here, if you find that you can come closer to the mat with your forehead, you can always lower the block down to level 2 or to level 1, or remove the block entirely if you can get your head down to the mat. So we're just going to relax here for just a moment, breathing normally. And when you're ready, release the hands. Plant them on the mat and push yourself back up to a kneeling position. Go ahead and remove the block now, and we're going to come to tabletop on all fours. Knees, hips width apart. Hands under shoulders. And here we're going to do a little bit of freestyle movement. So if you've been in table before and you know what you want to do, you can go ahead and do that. But here are some options if you've never found yourself doing a freestyle on table before. You can do some hip circles one way and then another way. You can wag your tail. You can look over your shoulder. Look over the other shoulder. Just remember, whatever you do here, do it with ease and compassion for yourself. So move slowly, move mindfully. You can come back into child's and bring it forward. So whatever feels good to you here, go ahead and do that. And then whenever you're ready, we're going to go ahead and step up to standing. So bring yourself into a forward fold here. And instead of coming all the way up, just walk yourself to the outer edge of your mat, bringing your feet wide and coming into a wide-legged forward fold here. Now come halfway up, gazing forward. We're going to go ahead and put our hands on our hips. And again, we're going to go ahead and clasp our hands behind our back and exhale. Let it all go here. Bringing the arms up towards the sky into your wide-legged forward fold. And exhale. Bring them down to the mat. So we're going to go ahead and walk the hands back up to the front of the mat. Back into our regular forward fold. And on an inhale, plant the hands on the shins, gaze forward, halfway lift, exhale, release it down. And we're going to go ahead and plant the hands on the mat, step the feet back to plank, and lower all the way down to the mat. Bringing your hands on either side of your chest, bringing the tops of your feet flat to the bottom of the mat. And on your inhale, we're going to look forward and without pushing into your hands. So just using your core muscles and your lower back muscles. Tighten up here and start to peel your chest off the mat. So it doesn't matter here if you don't get all the way up, if you only get a couple inches off the mat, or if it's just your chin in the front of your chest off the mat, that's fine. But we're going to be working on strengthening the core muscles and the back muscles here as we peel up into a baby cobra. And exhale, release it all the way down. One more time. Inhale, just using your core muscles, no hands. We're going to come into a baby cobra and exhale down to the mat. Now this time we're going to come up as far as we can, just using our core. And then push into the hands all the way up to a cobra. So here we go. Inhale. And push up into a cobra. Exhale. Come to your knees and then bring your hips up and back to our first downward dog of the class. Let it all go here. Now on your next inhale, drop the knees, bring your right foot up between your hands. Lower the top of your back foot down to the mat and ground down into your foot and to your knee. And you're going to take your hands and raise them all the way up towards the sky. Into a warrior one with the knee down. If you want, you can go ahead and lean forward here. It will give you a nice stretch in the front of the hip flexor. And this is really good if you're sitting all day. So if you're in a car or at the office at a desk all day, this is a really nice stretch for the front of your hip. And exhale, bring the hands down to the mat, step your foot back, come to plank, and exhale, lower it all the way down. This time we're going to take the hands all the way back towards our sides here with the hands facing down. And we're going to do something similar here, except we're going to go into locust pose instead of cobra. So inhale. Clasp the hands behind your back. Tighten up your core. Start to peel yourself off the mat, bringing the feet up as well. Pointing the feet up and back towards the back of your mat. And 3, 2, 1. Exhale, release it down. We're going to go ahead and do this 2 more times. Hands behind your back. Inhale. Bring it up to a locust. Exhale. Release it down. Inhale. Bring it up. 3, 2, 1. Whew. Exhale. Now go ahead and bring it on back to downward dog. Whew. So we should be feeling a little warmed up by now. Just find something here to let go on the mat today. So at the beginning of the class, we were talking about compassion and clarity. So sometimes we don't always see ourselves and what we're putting out into the world as other people see them. It's important not to be so overcritical about yourself and to have compassion for everything that you do. So find that one thing today that you can let go of. Go ahead and big inhale and exhale. Let it go. One more inhale. And let it go. Look towards the front of the mat. Drop the knees. This time we're going to bring the other foot up between the hands. And on your inhale, sweep the arms up into warrior one with the knee down. And if you had that stretch, bringing yourself forward to the front of the mat, stretching out the front hip flexor. On the opposite side, go ahead and do that here now, just to make things even. If you have a wall here, you can take a break. And exhale, bringing the hands down to the mat. Step back into plank. And this time, instead of going down to the mat, we're just going to walk up into downward dog. So go ahead here. Stretch out the back of the legs. Take your dog for a walk. Start to pedal out your legs. And looking towards the front of the mat, bring your right leg up between your hands. This time we're going to have the knee raised and ground down into your feet. So really push down into the mat. Find a little bit of bounce here, some energy coming up from your feet. And on an inhale, sweep the arms up. So now we're in a warrior one. And exhale, bring your hands down to your hips. We're going to go ahead and do an arm clasp again here. So arms clasped behind your back. Now if you're feeling like the stance is a little bit too wide, you can always ground down into the feet, found a little bit of buoyancy here, and then hop your foot up to shorten your stance. It might help you a little bit because we're going to take the nose down to the knee and into humble warrior. On your inhale, tighten your core, bring yourself back up. And we're going to take the back foot, pivot it parallel to the front and the back of the mat, keeping the front knee bent and lifting your arms out to the side, facing your face forward, chest to the side, warrior two. Finding some stillness here. Whew, give yourself a break. So here's another place in the class that you might need a block. We're going to go ahead and take this into a reverse lateral angle. So with your left hand on the block here, we're going to take the right hand, start to peel it up towards the sky, twisting your torso towards the right, taking your gaze up past the fingertips, and exhale, release it all down. Go ahead and step back into plank. Lower it all the way down to the mat. We'll do a nice big cobra on the inhale, and exhale, I'll meet you in down dog. Inhale, eyes towards the front of the mat. This time, bring the left leg up towards the front, keeping the foot raised in the back this time. Grounding down into your toes and into your foot. Now you're going to notice that maybe one side is a little bit easier to balance and maybe the other side's not so easy. So we're going to go ahead and get grounded into the feet. Find that buoyancy, that lightness. And then inhale, arms up towards the sky. Whew. And bringing the hands down to the hips. Bringing that foot up. Woo, falling over. Bring your hands behind your back, and we're going to take humble warrior on the opposite side. Nose to knee. On your next inhale, ground down into your feet. Tighten up the core. Bringing hands to hips. Woo. Woo, finding some balance here. And this time we're going to take the back foot towards the opposite side of our mat, bringing our arms up into a warrior two. Again, you might need a block here. So grab your block, place it on the inside of your front foot, and when you're ready, peel that arm up towards the sky, reverse lateral angle, taking your gaze up past your fingertips, getting a nice twist in the back and the torso, and exhale, bring it down. Whew. All right, and when you're ready, I'll meet you in down dog. So this is yogi's choice. If you want to go through another sun salutation to get to down dog, you can. If you just want to meet in down dog straight from plank, it's yogi's choice. All right, so we're here in down dog, and on your next exhale, release the knees down to the mat. Taking them as wide as the mat, bringing the toes together. Send your hips down and back into child's pose. Just letting your breathing come to normal here, just relaxing. And when you're ready, we're going to go ahead and take an easy seat towards the front of the mat. And we're going to get a little bit of a stretch in the opposite direction for our shoulders. We've been doing a lot of binds behind the back. So this time, we're going to take the right arm up and the left arm back. Hinge at the elbow. At the elbows here, bringing the fingers together into a cow face pose. If your fingers don't clasp in the back, that's okay. They can just be touching. But after all of the stretching that we've been doing with the shoulders, it would feel nice to have a little stretch right here. And release. We're going to bring the right arm to the opposite side, the left arm down, same thing. You're going to notice, again, on one side, you have maybe a little bit more flexibility. So if your fingers don't touch or clasp all the way, that's perfectly fine. Ooh, and release it down. Now we're going to go ahead and come to our back here. So moving slowly and mindfully, lower yourself all the way down. We're going to keep the knees bent, feet flat on the floor. And starting to walk our shoulders under our back, so bringing those shoulder blades closer together. Walking the feet a little bit in towards the hips. We're going to push down into the feet, engage our core, and lift our hips up towards the sky, coming into bridge pose. And exhale, bring it down. So we're going to do this 2 more times. So inhale, tighten through the core, lifting up. And exhale, bringing it down. Making sure to, when you're releasing down to the mat, that you're doing it slowly and controlled with your core to help protect your lower back. One more time, inhale, lifting it up towards the sky, coming into bridge, and exhale, slowly, 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 slowly coming down to the mat. So I want to go ahead and invite you to do another freestyle here. You can go ahead and you can take the knees to the chest, hug them into the chest, maybe rock and roll a little bit side to side. Roll into your little side kick here. If you want, you can take your peace fingers, wrap them around your big toes, and do a happy baby. Or if it feels nice, you can rock and roll front and back. Just whatever feels good here. Maybe windshield wiper the legs back and forth. Yogi's choice. Freestyle. And when you're ready, release it down to Shavasana. You can have your arms up, stretched overhead. Have them on your chest, your stomach, down at your sides. Whichever feels nice. I'm going to keep them up over the head. Just find a nice, easy breath here. focusing on your breath, I want you to start to think about what you can take away from the mat today. So earlier we released something, maybe a negative thought that we had about ourselves, or a belief that we should be doing better at something when we're not trying our hardest. This time, go ahead and think about something that you can take away, something nice about yourself. Finding a little bit of compassion, thinking about maybe some of the things that you think about yourself that are untrue. Think about how you can turn that into something positive. A lot of the times what will happen is that these negative thoughts that we have about ourselves will also turn into judgment about others. It's important to be mindful about where our mind is going when we're not paying attention. Are we constantly judging ourselves and others, thinking that someone could have done something better, that you should have done something better? So just find a little bit of compassion for yourself and tell yourself something today. Maybe that you did the best you could on something, or that you did a good job. Or maybe someone around you is trying the best they can. When you're ready, start to focus on your breath again. Take notice of your feet, wiggle your toes. Maybe wiggle your fingers, give them a stretch overhead if you had your arms down at your side. And when you're ready, start to roll over to your right side, bringing your head to your arm and pushing yourself back up to a seated position. I want to thank you for joining in with this class today with me. And also remember to appreciate and thank yourself for spending this time with you today. The best and brightest in me acknowledges the best and brightest in you. Namaste.